First, I've got to say, holy crap, look at the modeling of this. I am so impressed with these HD models, these tanks. Look down the barrel of my gun. Look at this thing. Just flipping phenomenal. I love it. Changed the whole back setting. Instead of having the, see on the T95 you got like two of the fuel tanks, or, you know, I believe those are fuel tanks on the back of the 95. But on this they've got it vented now. It says vents versus having, I think it had one like fuel tank. Just look at this thing, man. Just the detailing. I mean, need to borrow my sledgehammer? How about my 50 cal? Looks like the tarp. I don't know, maybe their camo nets rolled in that. I know on my Humvee we used to roll camo net in the backup like that, and then we just stop, pull the camo net out, and pull it right up over it. Our Bradley, we did the same thing. Pretty nice. This thing is, I'm wondering if this is kind of easily penetrated. Whoops. Let me kind of back off here a little bit. You know, because like on the T95, that's a weak spot is down here. It's one of the easiest places to actually pen it besides the commander's hatch. If you can get good shots on that lower plate on the T95, that's probably almost the easiest place to pen it. So I wonder if that's another, I'll have to take this into a training room, have my son shoot the crap out of it with something he's got, and see if that is like a weak spot like on the T95. But anyway, so I wanted to play this like I would if it were more of a turret kind of, let's say, tank destroyer, just to try and, I'm not the type of person to sit back and snipe. So you'll see me go over to the field over here, and the speed boost they gave these things are real nice too. I haven't had a whole lot of matches in the 95, or yeah, the T95 or T28 or the prototype since they did the speed buff on it, but boy, this thing's like a Corvette compared to how it used to be. Just a sweet looking tank. Tank destroyer, squeeze me. Unless somebody said, not a tank, it's a tank destroyer. Yeah, I love it. It's just so awesome looking. Really like it. I'm liking it, I'm loving it, I want more of it. Looks pretty awesome though. But, instead of sitting back here and sniping, I wanted to show you the difference between the two, but also I want to show you the difficulty you have when you're running a non-turreted tank destroyer, and because you can't count on pubbies for anything, like, you know, covering you, doing any, trying to help you, covering while you're trying to go around the building, because you'll see our low sitting back there 3 miles, and we got a medium, a light tank, a tank destroyer. Got 2 tank destroyers here, and our low sitting back there in another zip code because he's too damn stupid to move forward. Our Indian PZ over there, and FE 4202 over here. We had no mediums, no lights come over here to light the field. Of course not. You know, there's no artillery. Why should they go in the field, you know? It's like, thanks for the help, retards. See, and this is where having a turret would come oh so much in handier. We'll say bye-bye to the bat chat. I think that's the only I can't remember if maybe I don't shoot any more premium rounds. I can't remember. I'm not real sure, guys. I can't remember. I thought I might have left it on premium rounds on accident. Put a nice one in the bat chat there. So here comes our FE 4202. Okay, I see him coming in. So what do? I'm gonna sit here. No, hell no. I see him, so I go to help him. Now I gotta be careful. I don't want to get my butt raped here by that TVP. I don't want him clipping out on my side. But there's FE 4202. I'm like, dude, I'm hitting help. Help. Where's he going? Help. That's nice. Hit a bad chat in the front with a flicking round. And, oh yeah, look at that. The bat chat's got such thick armor. At that angle, it can, what is it? 240... 248. At that little bit of an angle, I couldn't overmatch that paper thin armor. I'm like, you gotta be shitting me. But we ram them, we push them, we shoot them, we kill them. But this is what I'm talking about. That FV4202 was such a fucking putz. Instead of staying over here and trying to help me get rid of this, I wouldn't have taken, what, 2 rounds in the side from the 5051 up there, or the 5051 and those 2 auto loaders up there, because he was too chicken shit with his turreted tank to fucking help. And then the Jagdtiger, he actually sat back here and didn't do a fucking thing. He ended up getting killed and did 0 damage. And look at our low. There's our heavy tank for you. Look at him back there. Hey, low, can you hear me? You're a fucking idiot. Uninstall the game, you piece of shit. What a fucking team of turds. Here I'm in one of the slowest fucking tank destroyers in the game, pushing, and I got fucking people sitting back there doing nothing with turrets. See, that's the difference between how you get a match where your team wins, when you have people like me that know how to play the game, and they know how to even take a tank destroyer and use it to their advantages and push and kick ass and take names. And you got a fucking asshole like that piece of shit back there, and the other piece of shit back there. Oh, look at our Indian PZ. Medium, full health back there. Oh, wow, thanks, guys. What are you doing? Scraping paint off fucking walls? Kind of douchebags. I absolutely hate asshole players like that. If they're going to play like that, just please uninstall the game, because you fucking don't do your team any favors. It would be no loss. We're looking at 1, 2, 3 turds that you won't have on your team to have to deal with. There's another Jagdtiger over there. He's got almost all his health. And look at what he's aiming at. He's right there in this corner. What's he aiming at? Not a fucking thing. Literally nothing. Because everything is either targeted here, or the heavy that's directly in front of me, or that FV that's somewhere over here. He has nothing at all in his sights. He's hiding behind the building. What another fucking turd. Ugh. I usually don't get pissed off. It's just I see replays like this after the fact, and I see why I took all this damage, or I end up dying. It's because of fucking morons like this that are worthless. I wish I'd have let that aim in just a hair more, because I would have smoked his ass if I would have. So here, still, again, got a tank back here with a turret. Yeah, he is a one-shot, but do you see him kind of trying to push forward at all? No, hide behind the tank destroyer. Let me take all the fucking damage. And look at these turds. Oh, look, guys, we're going to come up and we're going to kick ass. Yeah, now that we've killed everything, you worthless fucking piles of shit. I think that ML2 might have been sleeping or something. The FV4202, he took his big boy pills. Let's see, will he get knocked out? Nope, he took a shot. He's going to back off and go change his underwear because he shit himself now. So here I go with my unturreted tank destroyer. This is what I'm talking about. You run into problems like this. That's a house. You can't run that house over or destroy it. So what do? Well, you got a problem. Because you got fucking idiots on your team that are worthless like turds in a toilet. Turd, turd, turd. Another turd. Oh, look at that low. Oh, he's finally coming up here. Yeah, we'll look at the damage, all the tons and tons of damage they did after the match, so you get a good laugh. But now having a turret here, I wouldn't have taken this damage because I wouldn't have to come around a building like this. Because the fucking asshats on my team that sat back there. Oh, and then he steals the kill. Thanks for that, you fucking turd. He waits for me to come around and get hit twice, and he shoots him in the ass. Piece of fucking shit. God, I hate assholes like that. I wish they'd just fucking install the game. And that dude shoot me a fucking heat. Lovely. Fucking tier 9 with the gun on that thing is a tier 10 gun. Would go through any fucking tank that's on our team easily with standard rounds. And he's fucking slinging fucking premium. I think I actually switched it over to premium for that guy, but I had it set. You can see it blinking on the standard rounds. I was going to switch back over to standard. Oh my God, what a... Sorry guys, I probably sound like an asshole, but I'm real sorry. I usually don't get so pissy, and it's just fucking ass shitty teams like this just really burn me. And then, you know, they'll come up and steal a kill from me that I should have gotten, you know, after I chased him and did all the damage to him. And he's gonna, oh, I'm gonna poke you here and hit him for, you know, 30 damage and steal a kill from this T-28 that did all the work. Ha ha ha, because I'm a super player. Fucking douchebags. Ugh. Well, anyways, if you guys want to hold on for a minute, we'll look at the post-game stats of this so you can see what kind of great damage them turds did. Remember, Yag Tiger, Indian PZ, 4202, and a low that did shit. Alrighty, so the ever-wondering debate on when you're going down the tech tree, turreted or non-turreted, where are you better? So, the tech tree for the U.S. tank destroyers, I can foresee them probably changing it a little bit down the road, because they've been doing a lot with how playstyles are of different tanks. And if you look at the tech tree for the U.S., okay, you start out with your non-turreted, T40, non-turreted, then all of a sudden you go to a Wolverine, turreted, Jackson, turreted. Then you go back to T25AT, no turret, T28, no turret, T95, no turret, and E3, no turret. So they got two tank destroyers, these two, that have turrets in the middle of a non-turreted line. Okay. If you come up this way, you got turreted, 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 turreted. No, not turd, turreted. But when you hit the Wolverine, that's when you have to make your option. And once you make that option, you really, well, actually back here you could, but you still could, you know, research all these if you want. T-67's a great tank destroyer, fast little shit, nice firing, fast gun, no armor. Most all these don't have any armor. The Wolverine and the Jackson's turrets are slow, but they're a turret. T-25-2 Hellcat turrets are really slow, but they're turreted. T-28 slow turret, but it's turreted. T-30 and E4 turrets move pretty good. So once you hit the Wolverine, because if you go up this top way, if you go up to the M41A1, you're stuck. You can't go down. You're stuck on getting the E4. Once you hit the T56 GMC, you either go, if you go to the M8A1, then you're going to for the T110E4, regardless. You don't have a choice. If you go down, you get the T40, and then at the Wolverine, that's when you have to make the choice. Do you want that turreted tank destroyer, or do you want the non-turreted? You've got benefits with both of them. With a turret, obviously, it makes you pretty much like a heavy tank, except for a lot of times with better armor, a faster firing gun, more alpha per hit. When you're in a non-turreted tank destroyer, normally you get your fast firing gun, great frontal armor, really good, you know, super good frontal armor, but you're limited to how you can approach the enemy. And I really pushed in this T28 to show you what I'm saying. You can't come around a building with your turret turned at an enemy and take a shot and back up real quick. You got to turn your whole vehicle, and then you take shots in the side. They knock your track off, then they can circle you, circle strafe you, and you can get it can get really, especially with like the T95 and the T28. They did do the speed buff on them, which, believe me, I haven't played this T28 for quite a while, and now it's an HD, and it looks really fantastic too, by the way. But they knock your track off, and if that happens, you're done. I used to get, back in the day with the T95, before it got its speed buffs and stuff, I would not play that unless I had at least somebody platooned with me to cover my ass, because I would get so mad because it's so slow, and lumbering, and it traverses slow. It moves slow. You got a slow loading gun, and it would get down to me and like 3 other people. And if I was on the wrong flank because it's slow, I mean, you pick a side with a T-95, you better stick with it. And all of a sudden, here comes 4 medium tanks, and they would just rape the shit out of me. So I started not playing the T-95 unless I had somebody platooned up with me to cover my ass. And I usually would be like, hey, play your T-95 or play, a turreted something slow that you can stay, we can cover each other's butts. That's really the best way to play a non-turreted tank destroyer. You have to look at the battlefield in a whole different situational awareness, because if you're in a city map, there's going to be times that if you go around a corner, you're going to take damage. Whereas if you got a turret, you can kind of poke around that corner shooting back up. Tank destroyers, non-turreted tank destroyers, you don't have that luxury. To play a non-turreted tank destroyer, you have to be up a little bit more on the playing level, to have really good map awareness to make sure there's not a medium tank coming up on your rear end that's going to butt rape you, and you don't see him until he's right there and it's too late. Whereas if you see him coming across the map, you can back up against a rock or somewhere. He can't just, keep circling around you, or a building, or a wall, something. You'll notice in this replay with the T-28, I had to keep yelling help and count on a bunch of puppies that obviously, yeah, I won't take it any further than that, but I wasn't really getting much help from these guys. They've got turrets, and I was the main push. I wanted to be the main push to show you, kind of, it's not really how to play, that's more of how not to play a tank destroyer. You kind of want to sit in the back and snipe, but I wanted to show you the difference between the T-28 prototype and the T-28, and I can't very well take the T-28 out without a turret and just sit back and snipe, and then take the T-28 Proto out there and play it like a heavy tank and do 10 times more damage. So I had to actually push and do some risky things to try and get the damage and, make the moves, because obviously the guys that were with me just weren't. I mean, I was hitting help, 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 and, I'm way up there in a slow tank destroyer that does 20 kilometers an hour, and I got freaking medium tanks that do 60 and 50 kilometers an hour, still a mile behind me on the map. I'm like, what in the frig? That's just the player ability. They kind of suck. Surprised we actually won that map. But anyways, so I kind of just wanted to showcase these two tanks to try and help you pick ladder on down the road when you get to that tier 10, the E3 and the E4. What's your best route? What is your play style? Do you like to sit back and snipe? Or do you like to be like me, up in their face, pushing them, bullying them, putting rounds up their ass, knocking them out, slapping around like a little redheaded stepchild? That's how I like to play. And you get a lot of people that like playing where they're back and they're just sniping. And I'm not the type of person that likes to set. So when you get to this point with the Wolverine, you either go up to the Hellcat and you're getting the E4 with a turret, or you're going to stay here, go to the Jackson, and go all the way across and get the E3 without the turret. And we'll look at those two in the next part of the video when I'm showing you the prototype, to see, you can see the difference between the E4 and E3's. Same exact gun, I believe, almost the same reload. I think the E3 might load a little bit quicker, because they usually give a non-turreted tank destroyer a little bit better reload, but you'll see the frontal armor of the E3, how much better it is than it is on the E4. But anyway, so just real quick to highlight on this map. So a Bat Chat, yeah, a Bat Chat, a medium tank that should have been butt raping me. I ended up taking him out, put 3 rounds into him for 916, finished him off, knocked out his track. TVP, hit him once for 328, bounced one of his rounds. I think he actually knocked my track off, but spotted him and he got hit for 122. The ML2, hit him once for 470. Oh, that was a nice roll. and knocked out his track, and the Batchat 12T hit him for 168, finished him off, and knocked out his gunner. Did fourth most damage in a tier 10 match in a tier 8, and that's what I'm saying. Jagdtiger 0. WZ111 1FT 450. This guy was there with me with a turret, and he was like, might as well have sat back and done nothing. This STR VS1, that sits in the back of the map, and you know, that's one of those that you better like sniping if you buy that tank. Object 257, 1618. I mean, here I'm in a T28 slow-moving tank destroyer, one of the slowest tanks in the game, and I did 1,882 damage and got 2 kills and got like third highest base experience, I think. Yeah, third highest base experience. One, because I play it like a monster. I mean, I play it like an animal. I mean, I get right up in there, and you know, but I wanted to show you the difference between these two tanks, but it's kind of hard with setting back and sniping and actually getting up there and pushing. So we had 8 shots, 7 hits, 6 pen, did 1,882 damage, got hit 4 times, 3 pen, but that's because I came around that building and got hit twice. 2 of the shots hit me in the side from that Emil. Not sure where the other, might have been the Batchat that penned me on another one. And we had a 1 non-penetrating round. Damage 4, destroyed 2. Damage with our assistance was 122. And we lost 648. How do I have this thing set up? Oh, I better take it off premium rounds, did I? Yep, I'll almost guarantee that's what happened. Whoops, no, that's the prototype. All right, where is this? Nope, same setup. I must have clicked on premium rounds to shoot at something and forgot to take it off premium rounds. Shit, I hate it when I do that. 248 pen is actually really good. Tier 10 match, yeah, I can say, well, it was a tier 10 match, that's why I slung premium rounds, but I could have swore I actually took it off premium, but guess I didn't. But anyways, so this next match, you're going to see we are going to go ahead and run the T28 prototype. The funny thing is you get twice as much gun depression with this. You go to -10 from -5. Turret traverse, you can swing it all the way almost to the right about here in the back and right about here. Kind of can almost aim right at you know, these back parts, like right in the rear here. There's just this little area right here that you can't get it to turn around to. But yeah, I like them both. I like the T28 standard version because it's got this big gun mantle, and if you set back and do snipe like you should kind of with this tank destroyer, it's a bitch to penetrate it. And these commander's hatches don't stick up, you know, you get way back there, you know, you're quite a ways back, it's hard to hit those. You get up close and personal, it's a lot easier to hit those. So, and then this one here, it's got good frontal armor. It is pretty flat though. I mean, that's really not very well sloped, so it doesn't take much to actually penetrate you there. And same with your commander's hatches, you know, up close and personal, it's pretty easy to penetrate those. So even with a turreted tank destroyer like this, you kind of want to stay back to make those commander's hatches a lot harder to hit. But anyways, so yep, if you want to hold on, I'll be right back as they match with the T28 prototype. Well, boys and girls, I found out some very interesting information in Armor Inspector between the T110E4 and E3. So, the commander's hatch up on the top of the T110, E4, and E3, I was saying that seemed like the E3 was a real pain in the ass to pen. It is 275 effective thickness compared to on the T110, E4, I think it was 152 effective thickness. So yeah, it is way thicker on the T110 E3. Now on the T110 E3, that big round piece of armor right there is 305, and I thought, well, I bet you that's the only piece. Well, no. As it starts on the top, it's like 250 up here, and then it's back to 305 towards the middle part of the frontal sloped armor, and then it gets really thick right in the center, and then on the bottom it's like 2 something. So it's pretty damn thick. It is way thicker on the T110E3's whole front. The whole front of that thing is way thicker than the T110E4. T110E4 was like 152. 200 I think was at the thickest spot, and that was like right in the center. So yeah, there is some huge differences in the armor values between the E3 and the E4. E3 is definitely a lot more armored. So here we're going to start this match, and I'm going to turn the turret to give you an idea how far you can swing it, but I'm only going to go one way with it because it takes too darn long to swing it one way and then the other. So if you see which way I turn it to, otherwise the other way it just basically turns the other direction the same distance. But this is where you'll see me, why I talk about, you know, the flexibility. And right there, that's as I run into a rock. But that's not bad. I mean, you can almost shoot on your butt, you know, around your butt, and if you got to swing it around, you know, but, well, this is the flexibility that I'm talking about when you get a turreted to non-turreted tank destroyer and how you like to play them. I like to push. I like armor too, but I prefer to be up front and just pushing and doing damage and getting in with the mix. And I mean, here I'm in a tier 8 and a tier 10 match, and you know, I could just sit back and snipe, but no, why, you know, that's just not the way I play. That T100 LT was sitting down there, and that thing has a heck of a turret on it, and he's sitting in a damn good spot, and just a sliver of him sticking up there, and I thought, come on, one of these shots have got to hit him. He's full health. Okay, he got caught on fire there. He's still a lot of health left, and I just popped his top. I bet you I ruined his gosh damn day. But yeah, we just ammo racked him for 897 and finished him off. But see, now this is what I'm talking about. With the prototype, I can keep driving straight and turn my turret and aim at this stuff, and if I can't, you know, get a chance, stop and shoot. Whereas with the T28, just the standard, you got to stop, turn your whole hull, and then aim. Or keep going and, you know, just hopefully they don't pop up to where they can get shots in your side. So when you play a non-turreted tank destroyer, you're kind of really, I don't want to say stuck, because you saw how I played the T28 in that the match just you know, before this one, but you're more, let's say, limited to where you can go and what you can do on a map. You're more limited to if it's got a city map, or if it's an open map, or you know, what do you have for shooting over stuff and around stuff, where you know, when you've got a turret, even on a tank destroyer, you do lose that some of the armor. Believe me, 305 frontal armor compared to 250 something. Yeah, that's it. It's a big difference. That's a difference of bouncing around and having almost every round pen you. But how do you want to play? Do you want to set, you know, if I would have had the non-turreted, let's say the regular T28 on this map, you know, if I wasn't really pushing them to compare them, you know, I would have just sat back here at the base and just sniped at anything I could. I was watching the map, and I'm seeing these guys right here, and I'm thinking, okay, you know, all our frickin' tier 10s are up here. You know, one of those guys will kind of head back, you know. Somebody's got to head back. We only got a T-34 down there protecting them. You're stopping them from just walking all over us. And they just are oblivious to what's going on here. They're coming up on our cap, and these guys are still just trudging along, not looking. And I'm thinking, you know, these guys are going to turn around any minute. Any minute they're going to turn around and, you know, head back to cap. They're getting close to our cap. They're going to head back any minute now. And then I think I hit this T-25 pilot one, and I'm like, shit, they're not going back, man. So I end up frickin' turning around and heading back. And I think, okay, now the 430U, I think he finally realized we need to get back to cap. But I just do a a wide turn here. I come around because I didn't want to stop and spin slowly. So I just did a full circle and started heading back to our cap. But I'm like, great, our tier 10s and tier 9s just are so oblivious to what the hell's going on. I mean, I saw this UD's 03 and I'm like, I can't resist stopping to pop one in him. Shit, half his health was gone in one hit. I'm like, come on, get reloaded, stay there, don't move, line shot. I was, oh, and I didn't hear him go boom. But I'm thinking, alright, well, we got an ELC on their cap, the Object 257's almost on their cap. We still got a good chance of, you know, resetting this and winning. And this is what I'm talking about. E75 right here, he's almost dead, and our 430U stops and he's shooting at him. Our PTA stops, he's shooting at him. I mean, I stopped to shoot at him because I'm slow as shit. I mean, even if I didn't stop and kept racing up there, I'm still not going to get up there in time to light anything. But the idiots that have the speed fucking didn't. They stopped. And I'm like, So I just started taking blind shots here in a minute. I mean, we got a full health 430U and Aggressor. Might want to change his name to Dresser. Oh, Jesus criminy. I mean, if the PTA, that thing's fast as hell. If those guys would have not stopped, they would have easily got up there in time to light shit. So I'm like, fuck it, I'm taking blind shots. I'm like, please hit something, knock a track off. I mean, we were kicking the shit out of these guys. And then nothing. And I'm like, nah, we lost, great. Way to lose it there, our high-tiered players. Now see if those clowns would not have stopped. You see where they're at right now? Right there, right there. If they wouldn't have stopped to shoot at that E75 that was almost dead, that two other tanks like myself and somebody else was taking care of, those clowns would have been up there easily in time to light that up and probably would have had it recap. But no, we lose it by 3 seconds. Oh, and then everybody's blaming on her. Oh, reset Artie, reset Artie. I'm like, they blame it on artillery. I mean, the hell, he doesn't shoot for the whole fucking, you know, circle. Yeah, what are you gonna do? Team of tards. But yeah, if you want to hold on for a minute, I'll go ahead and I'll do the replay of the T-28 and. My personal preference is a tank destroyer with a turret. I've always liked them with a turret just because it gives you that flexibility. But, you know, and I'm also not the type of person that likes to kind of sit back and snipe. So, but to each their own, that's just the way, you know, you're going to play it the way you're going to play it. If you like that extra armor and you don't mind sniping in the back, you know, go for it. But, yeah, if you want to hold on for a minute, I'll be right back with the replay of the T-28. And that's what happens when you count on a bunch of tier 9s and 10s that are smarter than a fucking sperm whale's shit. Fucking moron team. I'm in a T-28 prototype and I knew to fucking turn around. And this is one of the, like, you know, slowest tanks in the game. But I had the brains to turn around and start heading back. But our tier 9s and 10s that actually could get back there in time were too stupid to do that. Fucking idiots. But anyways, you can see the difference in the flexibility with the T-28, how with this, I was able to turn my turret and keep driving straight and then get shots like that T-100 LT. I ended up popping this top off, 897 damage and finished him off because we ammo racked him. E-75 hit him for 422. Lorraine 40T hit him for 397. T-25 Pilot hit him for 405. STRVS-1 hit him for 461. And the UD's 03, we hit him for 463. So we got one of those demolition experts and a fire for effect. We did second most damage with 3,045. Got 1 kill and a base experience of 396. But you had our tier 10s and 9s that did 0 damage. 846, 897. I'm sorry. It's just, I've been getting sad at team after sad team after sad team all night tonight. We had 12 shots, 6 hits, 6 pen, 3,045 damage from a distance of more than 300 meters, 2,640. Damage 6, destroyed 1. And made 14,946, because you can see, if you remember to put it back on standard rounds it has really much of no problem penning the stuff. So I just wanted to show you that, you know, with the T28, I literally forgot to put it back on standard ammo, so ended up wasting a lot of credits unnecessarily, like a Bat Chat. Oh yeah, I could have went through him with a, probably should have shot him with an HE round in that last match with the T28, not the prototype. But it just, I'm trying to show you the flexibility. I didn't even get shot at, did I? Yeah, I didn't get hit one single time. Um, Also, the position I took up, I wasn't really worried about getting shot because this has got actually pretty good camo. Um, and it will compare them real quick. But with the flexibility with this, I was able to go up there with medium tanks. I was able, once I saw that the other side had just been overrun basically, to turn around and head back, and I've got a turret where, when, like on the, I think it was a UD-03 or the STR-VS1 that was sitting on the hill. Now, in the T-28, I would have had to have stopped, turned my whole hull, tank, everything, you know, the whole hull, to aim at that, shoot, turn back the other way, and then go towards the E-75. Versus with this, I was able to keep going towards the E-75, because that's, I'm just saying that because that was lit kind of towards our base when I was heading back to the base. And I didn't have to turn my whole hull. I could just turn the turret, shoot, and then continue on my merry way. Took a shot at the E-75, hit him, kept going, took some blind shots, hoping to hit something, just knock a track off something, but no such luck. But it just shows you the flexibility with these, but it really didn't kind of showcase the armor much at all on either of them, because the other one I came around a building, and with the T-28 where you don't have a turret, and took some rounds and point blank from, I believe it was the Bat Chat. So can't really showcase the armor too much on either of them, because this one I didn't even get hit by anything. But flexibility wise, it shows you the T-28 is a lot more flexible because you got a turret. And I purposely turned the turret all the way around to show you the maximum that you can turn it. That's only one way. I didn't turn it completely the other way also, because it had taken me forever to fling it that way and then fling it the other way and then fling it around. So I just showed you the one way, but obviously it goes the same distance in the other direction. So we had a pretty good match. Unfortunately, it was a loss, and unfortunately, our heavy tanks had their thumbs in their butts and didn't know what they were doing, or half the team that could have made it back in time that didn't. I mean, if I've got a tank that's fast enough, and I've got 3 or 4 tanks going back with me, I'm not going to stop to shoot at a fucking E-75 that's almost, you know, half dead, and all 3 of those tanks, I think, did actually stop and dink around with him, and, you know, where they could have just probably blown right on by him, or one could have stopped and dealt with him, and the other ones could have kept going right up on there to reset cap. But no, let's just stop and shoot at the E-75 and stop and take pop shots at this and that. It's like, thanks for the loss, guys. But anyways, yeah, so, yep. That's, the meta of World of Tanks sometimes. You get team after team of tardation. Yeah, my win rate for tonight is terrible. Look at this. 3 wins out of 8 matches. I just keep getting shit team after shit team like this tonight. So that's why I figured I'd go ahead and do this video. Give me a break from getting my ass kicked all the time from shitty teams. I'm doing good. My win rate for the night is 2,159. It's just I keep getting teams that their win 8 as like 5 or something. But personally, I prefer tank destroyers with turrets because it just gives you that flexibility. Believe me, I love the armor, and that just brought up what I was going to go over next real quick. So, let's see, T110, E3, and E4. Good, they're both right here. So with your T110E4, you know, this is the final product, which is what you're working for, Tier 10. The commander's hatch on the T110E4 is a lot easier to pen. Your hull armor is 260, and your turret armor is 203. Well, that's still hella good. And you got a big gun mantle. That's a big chunk of spaced armor. So, but I've still had people go through that. Believe me, I've had him go right through that spaced armor or whatever with a Yagzilla. He'll hit with an 8 because those AP rounds, the standard rounds on them, can still go through that, depending on the range. And yeah, he went right through that, went through the front of the turret, and still did damage. I mean, I was about, holy crap, you know. But on this, again, this one, the turret does not turn quite like on the T-28 prototype. Like way back here, it'd be nice if it did. This one only does 90, 90 and 90. So basically, you can get it like about right across here. It's like almost right to the right, very right. And like if you're looking out your driver window or your passenger window, right across there and right across there. But then if you compare it to your T110E3, I mean, look at the frontal armor on this. It doesn't give you the hull armor. I imagine it's probably the same as the T110E4 on the hull, because it looks identical at 260. Where you gain it on this is you've got 305, but I would almost imagine they're talking about this, that big gun mantle. I've never really looked. I wonder if that hull is. I'm gonna take a peek and I'm gonna get back with you. I'm gonna find out. I'm gonna go to Armor Inspector and look, and I'll get back with you. So I'll let you know in the next video if that in fact is all three, like on the T95. That whole front is just one big massive piece of steel. But you know, with this, obviously, oh, that's what I was gonna look at. So your gun depression, -8, E4, -6. So you gain a little gun depression with the E3 too. Oh, and on the E3, that commander's hatch, even though it looks identical to the T110E4, yeah, good luck penning it. That thing, I've hit that with Yagzilla rounds. I've hit it with every round imaginable, and I can very rarely pen that thing. I mean, from the back, I think I've penned it, but from the front, I don't think I've really ever penned that thing. Maybe once, maybe twice. It is way different than on the E4, believe me. This thing is a lot harder. What else are we going to look at? Aim time is 213, 247, so your aim time on the T110E3 is better. Dispersion, 0.34, so it's better. It's 0.35 on the E4, 0.34 on the E3. Average damage, 31, 37, 37. Why is that so much different? That's interesting. What's the reload? Reload 1645. Huh. Oh wow, that is a big difference. Yeah, the reload on this is 14.34, so your average damage per minute is 3,137. E4's reload is 16.45, so it drops your average damage per minute down to 2735. So, as you can see, you gain some stuff with having a, you know, traversable turret, and you lose some stuff from having that traversable turret. Armor, faster aiming gun, does more damage, fires, or not more damage, as in fires faster, damage per minute, fire faster, more accurate. You know, that's on the T110E3. You know, so, and it's got hella frontal armor. E4, you know, you lose some of your armor, is weaker, you've got a weak spot up here, you're not as accurate, don't fire as fast, you know, longer reload. So, but you do gain that ability to be able to poke around the corner and shoot somebody versus coming all the way around the corner and shooting them. So, it really all depends on your gameplay. If you like to kind of sit back and snipe, or if you like to get up in there and play like a heavy. But all in all, it really boils down to your personal gameplay and what you like. I'm just trying to show you what's out there for the end result, starting at tier 1 to get to a tier 10, between a turreted and unturreted, you know, what you think is your cup of tea, I basically guess, pretty much. So, anyways, I'm going to go ahead and check out Armor Inspector on both these, and I'll find out if that's on the T110E3, if that is actually the same 305 on the hull armor too, like if this whole freaking chunk is 305, or if it's just the big circle piece right here, and if that's 260 like on the E4. It'd be interesting for me to find out because I don't even really know. Because that makes a big difference too. You know, because if your freaking hull armor is just as thick as that up there, I mean, that's just, wow, yeah, cool. So I'll find out, and then when I come back to do the replay of both those tanks, the prototype and the T-28, I will let you know. So I'll be right back. So you guys take a breather, and I'll be right back, guys.